Good morning, students. Welcome to your computer class. This is your last day's homework. I hope you have done this program in home. Now I will solve this problem. You just check your program with my program. Here in this homework, the program is asking to define a class prime with the following function. Three functions are there. The first function is prime, which takes one integer parameter and it checks whether that integer parameter is prime number or not. If it is prime, it will return true boolean value, otherwise false. Next function is Emirp. This function also takes one integer parameter and it checks whether a number is Emirp number or not. So what is Emirp number? Emirp number is a number which is prime and its reverse is also prime. Like 13, its reverse is 31. 13 and 31 both are prime numbers. So 13 and 31 both are Emirp numbers. And this function return type is void. That means function will not return anything. It will display the parameter input is Emirp number or not. And last function is void palprime. So this function again will receive one integer value and it will check the number is prime palindrome number or not. So let's start. Let me open BlueJ. In this file I will write the program. First function is boolean is prime. N is my parameter input. Now I will check this N is prime or not. So let me make one for loop. Where this I variable will give all the numbers starting from 2 to the number minus 1. So I equal to 2, I less than n, I plus plus. So what is prime number? The number which is only divisible by 1 and that number. So that means that prime number is not divisible by any number from 2 to that number minus 1. 7 is prime number. How? Because 7 is not divisible by any number from 2 to 6. But 10 is not prime number because 10 has few factors from 2 to 9. If n modulus I equal to 0, then what? It is not prime. So we will return false. Otherwise, let the loop continue. And if this condition never evolves to true, that means the number doesn't have any factor other than 1 and that number. Means it is prime. So after the loop we will return true. Over. Now next function was void is Emirp. It also takes one parameter n. Now first of all we have to reverse the number. So for that I have to take one t variable to store the value of n and one r variable where we will reverse and store the number. Now do loop r equal to r into 10 plus t modulus 10 and one more statement to update the number t by equal to 10 while t not equal to 0. We know that this is the digit loop. In this digit loop we are finding out the reverse of t or n. Now after this loop we will check n and its reverse both are prime or not. So for that we have to call isPrime function two times, one using n, another using r. So if is prime n and is prime r. So this is my condition which consists of two simple conditions. In first condition we are calling isPrime function with n. So for this call statement the function will return either true or false. And second condition is another call statement which will call this isPrime function again with r. And for r also this prime function will return either true or false. And after that this AND operator will check both are true or not. If both are true, that means n and r both are prime, means the number n is Emirp number. Else if one of them is prime or both are not prime, that means n is not Emirp number. So here we display the message system.out.println n is an Emirp number. Else statement again. I will copy this here. only if you have to add here not an Emirp number. Over, close this function, and after that the last function is void palprime. Void palprime. It also takes one integer parameter. Now for this palprime program, we have to check the number n is prime as well as palindrome or not. Now for palindrome, again we have to reverse the number. So same code we have to use here. So I'm not writing the code again. Let me copy this code from Emirp function. This one. So here we are reversing the number in R. Then we will check n is prime as well as palindrome or not. So how? If n is equal to R, that means number n is palindrome number. And for prime, in same condition, we will call isPrime function. And let me send this n to that function. Now this condition will give either true or false, and isPrime function will also return true or false. And this logical AND will work on this true and false to return true if both are true. And if both are true, then the number is palindrome as well as prime. And if any one of them is false or both are false, so the number is not palprime. So let me write the output statement. System.out.println n is a palprime number, else not palprime. Close your function and close your class. Now close this program, compile this program, compiling done, no syntax error. Right click on this program now, create your object. This is the object. So right click on that object, you will get the name of these three functions. So one by one all functions we will call. So let me call this isPrime function first, which will return boolean value. It will not display anything. So here I am giving 7. So 7 is a prime number, so it will return true. So here I will get the return value in a dialog box. See here, it's returning true. Now let me again call this function with one composite number, 12. So in that case we will get what? False value. See, false. Now next function we will call is Emirp. I am giving 13. So 13 is Emirp number. See here, 13 is an Emirp number. Now let me give another prime number which is not Emirp number. 19. 19 is not an Emirp number. 19 is prime number, but 91 is not prime number. That's why it is not Emirp number. And last we will call this palprime function. So I am giving 353. This is palprime number. Yes, this is palprime number. Now give a prime number which is not palindrome, like 17. It will display what? It is not a palprime. Understood? So let me explain the program once again for you. This is my class. Class is having three functions. First one is isPrime function, return type is boolean, and it takes one integer parameter n. And here in this program we are checking this n is prime or not. How we are checking n is prime or not? We are dividing this n by all the numbers starting from 2 to that n minus 1. So if number is 13, so 2 to 12. If number is 12, 2 to 11. If number is 10, 2 to 9. If number is 7, 2 to 6. So with all this number we are dividing n to find out the factor. If the number does not have any factor from 2 to that number minus 1, that means the number is prime number. And if anywhere we found that from 2 to that number minus 1 in this range, any one number is factor of that number, so it will return false. That means with false, the control will come out of this function and it will go to the caller function. Why? Because the number is not prime. And if the number does not have any factor from 2 to that number minus 1, that means the number has only two factors, 1 and that number. So in that case, after loop, it is returning true. Means the number is prime number. That means from any function we can call this isPrime function with a number, and function will internally check whether that number is prime number or not, and it will return the boolean value true or false. True for prime, false for not prime, for composite number. Now next function is Emirp number. It also takes one number, but the return type is void. That means in this function only we will display the message showing that the number is Emirp number or not. So first we are storing the number n to this t variable, because in this digit loop we are going to take out all the digits from n, and after that n will become 0, so we cannot use that n after the loop. So that's why we have stored the value of n to this t variable, and in this loop we are generating the reverse number of n and storing in r variable. So r variable is initialized with 0, then r equal to r into 10 plus the extracted digit in reverse order. This way one by one each digits we are adding to this r variable to get the reverse of n. Then after the loop we are calling this is prime function using n and r. N is the original number and r is the reverse of that number. And if in both cases this is prime function return true, that means both are prime number, so we can display the message number is an Emirp number, else number is not an Emirp number. And last function is palprime function. This is also void function. It takes one number parameter. Here we are reversing the number in same way how we have reversed the number in is Emirp number function. Then after reversing the number, we are checking the original number is equal to its reverse number or not. If so, that means the number is palindrome number, and here we are calling is prime function with n to check the number is prime number or not. So if both the conditions are true, that means the number is palindrome number as well as prime number. So we are displaying the message n is a palprime number or prime palindrome number, and else n is not a palprime number. Over. Now here you can include the main function to create an object of this class to call these functions one by one to achieve the task. Otherwise, you can call these functions from other program also, means from other class also, by creating object of this class in that class. Okay. So today up to this much. In our next class we will start function overloading. So wait for your next class. Till then, bye. Have a nice day.